Hello and welcome into another edition of Trojan Sports Now. I'm Jahmal Kennedy.
And I'm Kyle Shook. Stick around as we bring you the latest news and scores from Trojan Athletics. The men's game was a thriller in its own right, but the pendulum swung in favor of the Jags after a late surge from South got the best of the Trojans. Jahmal Kennedy has the action from Trojan Arena.
Just a tough one to swallow right there.
That quote from head coach Phil Cunningham says it all in the wake of a 71-76 loss to rival South Alabama.
I didn't think we played particularly well tonight. Put ourselves in a position to win the game, though. Took that early lead in the second half, and it evaporated quickly.
The focus all season long for Troy has been their shooting from beyond the arc, but on Saturday, was it their Achilles heel?
We've been a number one three-point shooting team in the league all year, and we shoot a lot of threes. And tonight we shot a lot, and they didn't go down tonight. We were 8 for 32, 25%. And we probably relied on them too much down the stretch.
Or maybe it was South's game plan, the way they played, that stifled the Trojans.
They made the plays down the stretch. They had that I think it was a 16-2 run. And we were kind of clawing from behind. They hit a couple of threes in transition that I thought were huge, and that's one thing we talk about. Because that's what they do.
Now, it can be easy to give up when you're struggling in conference play, and after today's loss, well, the Trojans have now dropped to 4-6, but they are continuing to take positives from these matches.
We're staying together. So everybody keeping their heads up. It's a tough loss when you lose to your rivals twice, but we're not going to let this affect our season.
We've got to find a way to bounce back, and we're still right in the middle of the pack. Like I say, we're tied with them, tied with Louisiana Lafayette. We've got 8 games left. It's an 8-game season, and again, they don't want to talk about it right now, and I don't want to, and nobody does, because it's a loss. It stings, but we've got to find a way to fight back.
Junior guard Kevin Baker had a career game, scoring a career-high 19 points in the losing effort. Senior guard Jeremy Holloman also got back in the double-digit scoring column with 10 points of his own.
And it was a thriller in Trojan Arena Saturday afternoon for the women as Chandler Rigby led the women's basketball team into battle against the rival South Alabama Jaguars. Man, and it was indeed a chilly one in the arena towards the end as senior guard Jayla Chills had 15 points and hit the go-ahead shot with under a minute to go. But it was another senior that made the big play down the stretch. Sarah Drake has the nail-biting highlights.
Of course, it's a great win today in Trojan Arena against our in-state rival, very talented South Alabama team.
On Saturday, the Trojans welcomed rival South Alabama into Trojan Arena and came away with a 75-71 win.
I thought we started the game as well as we could start a game. We were running, we were playing great defense, we were energized, we were being smart as well. And then through the course of the game, we let that drop.
At halftime, the score was 45-34, but by the end of the third quarter, the Jags had closed the gap to 3 points.
The third quarter was kind of a nightmare for us. We shot 20% and they shot 60%. It's really hard to win a basketball game when you go 10 minutes shooting like that and the other team shoots as well as they did. So I'm really proud of the team for finding a way to win.
During the conference season, the Trojans usually play on Thursdays and Saturdays, but this week they got Thursday off, and that's something Coach Rigby said she thought the Trojans needed.
I definitely think the amount of rest we got helped lighten us up mentally, emotionally, and physically. And we got physical rest, but we also got emotional rest. And just being so tense all week with 2 games, it was really good to have a little rest this week.
After battling injuries all season, senior Kristen Emerson stepped up and helped the Trojans pull off the win.
But the tail of the tail at the end was Kristen Emerson. You know, our senior, who has been plagued with injuries this year, has had very limited minutes, came in calm, cool, collected, got the key rebounds, and made the key free throws. You know, as a high school player, it was all on her. She rebounded. She was a point guard. She was a post. She did everything, and that's been such a change. She wanted to contribute so much her senior year, and as of now, she's dealt with so much injury. So to see her come out just like I saw her do in high school and kind of ice the game and win the game for like she did her high school team, that's what she wants to do. That's what she's used to doing. So it was really good to see her be able to do that today.
Sarah Drake, Trojan Sports Now.
The Trojans needed that win as it put them in a tie for second place in the conference standings at 8-2 with UT Arlington.
And the women's basketball team started a road trip with Louisiana with a big run last night in Monroe. 5 Trojans scored in double figures as the Troy women's basketball team routed ULM 94-67 on Thursday at Fantewing Coliseum. The Trojans earned their 9th Sunbelt Conference win behind double-digit performances from 5 Trojan players: Clarissa Banks, Caitlin Ramirez, Takiera Gibbs, Amanda Mendoza, and Lauren Day. It was the 3rd time this season 5 Troy players scored in double-digit figures. Major key alert, the Trojans led the nation in offensive rebounds per game with 20 Thursday night. the Trojans hauled in 26 offensive boards. Don't ever play yourself.
Speaking of women's basketball, one Trojan in particular is receiving the spotlight. Senior Lauren Day won the Female Collegiate Award presented by the All Sports Association. The Nashville, Florida native led her Choctawhatchee High School team to a near-perfect 56-3 record during her junior and senior seasons. Her resume doesn't stop there, though. During her tenure as a Trojan, she has played in more than 80 games and started in 20 of her 21 games as a senior. The awards banquet held by the All Sports Association was this Friday in the Northwest Florida area, but due to her game with ULM, Day was unable to attend.
The Troy softball team hosted their annual Fan Day event along with the baseball team over at Riddle Pace Field on Saturday. Jahmal Kennedy was there and even got the softball team to sign a team poster.
Fan Day. For a fan, one of the better events of an athletic year, and on Saturday, the Troy baseball and softball teams held their annual event, introducing their teams and signing team posters.
I just feel like our folks want to get to know our student athletes, and this is a great opportunity, a great way to do that. Not only introduce them, but give them a chance to interact with them, get down here on the field, get some autographs, and this is always one of my favorite events just because you get to see that aspect of it.
Though it's a day for the fans, the players also gained something as well.
But our student athletes really gain something from feeling the support, feeling like you said the community wants to come out and see them be successful and really be behind them as the season begins.
You know, it's easier to play when you know people have your back, and it's a big deal. I mean, I think this is making their day right now, seeing the long lines and all these people here to support them.
Coach Mullins joked about maybe being a Troy legend one day like Coach Smart, but the support she sees from the fans, she's very grateful for.
To have this amount of fans come out and support both our teams is huge. I mean, it's gotten bigger every single year, and I think it just shows how awesome the Troy community is and how supportive they are of both programs.
Now, Fan Day is an important event for the players, but as one coach explains, one of her favorite parts of the entire event is seeing the smile that it puts on the fans' faces.
I mean, truly getting to put faces, you know, getting to meet everybody that you see in the stands and just listen to them talk about how great our girls are, whether they've met them in the classroom or out in the community, and how excited they are for the season. I mean, that's just makes my day.
While the baseball team gets another week of preparation before they welcome in Xavier for a weekend showdown beginning February 17th, the beautiful weather of Boca Raton, Florida this weekend is what's on deck for the Trojan softball team as their season blasts off.
And blast off it did, Kyle. The travel from Troy to Boca Raton didn't seem to affect the Trojans that much, as the Troy softball team season opened up in a big way Friday, with the team winning its first match Friday morning in the FAU Invitational. The Trojans took down Bethune-Cookman by a final score of 8-4. Bethune-Cookman scored 3 of their first 4 runs in the bottom of the first inning via 2 sacrifices and an RBI double. The Trojans went scoreless for their first 3 innings until senior Becca Hartley unloaded on an Oppo Taco to get the Trojans' first run of the game and the season on the board. The Trojans added 6 runs in the 6th thanks to 3 singles and a triple. The 6 runs, 6 also put the Trojans ahead, and they didn't look back. That's a lot of 6s. The Trojans added 1 more insurance run in the top of the 7th via Kayla Hussey single, which capped off the scoring for the Trojans. Claire Graves pitched a complete game for Troy, going 7 strong innings. 4 Trojans had multi-hit games, including sophomore catcher Kayla Hussey, who had 3 hits on the day.
And while the softball team hit pay dirt, the Troy baseball team has another week of practice before their season starts. This practice will not go without some note-taking, however, as the Sun Belt Conference has released the coaches' preseason poll. Defending national champion and Sun Belt newcomer Coastal Carolina came in the #1 spot in the East Division with 70 points. But it's Louisiana Lafayette that stole the coaches' hearts and points with the overall #1 vote at 72. Troy came in at #4 in the East Division with 39 votes, following Coastal Carolina, South Alabama, and Georgia Southern. Senior Joey Dennison headlines the Trojans as he hit for a .322 average and led the team with 7 home runs last season.
The men's track and field squad finished their last indoor appearance of the season on a high note, and in case you're still wondering, yes, Akeem Montgomery is in fact still faster than a speeding bullet, as he finished with yet another first-place finish in the 60-meter dash with a meet record of 6.69 seconds. He has now won all 6 60-meter races that he has competed in this season, and Michael Alvarez broke his own school record with a 19.09-meter weight throw and won the event for the 2nd weekend in a row. Tyson Robinson finished 2nd in the 800-meter dash, and the men's 4x400-meter relay team finished 5th. On the women's side, Sarah Zylstra finished 4th in the 5,000-meter run, and Niata Alexander had a 6th-place finish in the 200-meter dash.
It wasn't all sunshine down in Coral Gables for the men's tennis team as they struggled against the Canes of Miami. A hurricane blew in and doomed the Trojans by an overall match score of 6-1. Freshman Amir Bedouin continues to shine through the clouds as he was the only winner on the weekend for Troy with a 6-3, 4-6, 6-1 win over Miami's Dane Dunlap. Overall, Bedouin is 13-5, but a perfect 5-0 in match play. Still to come on Trojan Sports Now, we'll have a preview of the Trojan women's basketball team matchup against Louisiana Lafayette.
But first, I sit down with men's track and field speedster Hakeem Montgomery. Stick around for more Trojan Sports Now.